So apparently, writing your thesis in Mega Man to get your PhD in Mega Man is not sufficient excuse to not pay for your utilities. Who would have thought? Well, now the utility company says that they're going to shut down Crash's power over here if he doesn't come to the plant right away. So I guess I ought to accommodate the request, huh? I guess at least there's Mega Man levels there, so I was headed there anyways. Hello everyone, welcome back. We be playing more MaGMML3 as always. Finished up tier 11 last night, and, you know, maybe it was a little bit of a rougher ending than I was hoping for, but we will move on from that. Still had fun. Going into tier 12 now, seeing what the power plant has to offer. Circuit Man. Oh, hey, you're different from the Circuit Man that I was expecting. Welcome to the power plant. What's the source of the power, you ask? Coal, nuclear fusion, microwaves from space, giant hamsters on giant wheels? I have no idea. I don't work here. I got lost on my way to Taco Wanderbell. Oh, that's a couple tiers ago, man. I think Michael can point you in the right direction. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There's a little hanging NPC up there. It's time to break out the Icarus launch. Honk shoo! Honk shoo! I don't want to work. Honk shoo! Just let me spin on the dance floor instead. That was 2 tiers ago, buddy. I meant to tell the other guy 3 tiers ago. Looks like you're both going to the rave at this point. Got a lot of personal flavor for me. Should be a good time. Alright. I mean, that sounds good. If you like flavors, you know, might as well call us Baskin Robbins. Sludge Man. Okay. Oh, I've heard of Sludge Man. Immediately with the skip token teleporter. Let's see. One of the tokens level is unreasonable for more reasons than I have arms. You have a lot of arms, buddy. We're giving it to you for free if you want it. Try the level first, though. The other tokens don't really need a skip, but they're here too. Guilty by association, I guess. Is the water clean enough to bathe in? You haven't known true irritation until you've gotten slug slime in your servos. And if it's any worse than the water that got me sick back in tier 3, then I don't think I have much to worry about. Alright. Well, I gotta say off the bat, ooh, and some new sound effects for the Met as well. The aesthetics are pretty nice. A good introduction to a slime gimmick there. I wouldn't exactly say I'm a sucker for... Well, no, I kind of am a sucker for, like, swamp aesthetics. It's, something that I think gets used... Oh my god, you are aggressive. Something I think gets used quite nicely. Especially for kind of sticky water levels. I enjoy that as a concept. So, right off the bat, tiling, really great here. Music is fitting, while also not being overbearing. Color palette stands out, looks nice. I'm ready to have a lot of fun with this level. Token is a weird one to obtain, not as bad as doing a deathless one though. Alright, well I should be completely up to the challenge then. I should have nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. I did realize, well, I mean I realized this since Monday, but I do notice I do have maximum bolts, and that there hasn't been a secret 5th number that has been tallying up. I really ought to go spend those sometime. I guess I'll do that in between the weeks here. I have a whole bunch of different Eddie cheats I can go purchase. Is it me or the sound effects feel a little bit loud for this level? Which, that's not usually how the audio mixing problems go. Usually it's that the music is too loud or too quiet. That's the token skips. Could be one more in tier 13. Alright. Not like we're using any of them anyways, but it's good to know. Things stop being unreasonable. Okay. That's a little bit long to have to stall in the middle for. But I guess not that bad. If that was one block, that would have been far worse. Alright, what's up with this? Okay. That's... I presume I'm probably going to stand up if I slide a little too early, so... Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. No different than above, then. Okay, I'm starting to see if this is maybe the token path, this is a little bit unreasonable. There's a lot of death here. And now protective Yoku blocks? What's up with this? Okay. Well, that wasn't too terribly bad. It looked a lot more stressful than it actually was. Oh, Goop Machine. He's gonna give me one order of slop on the double. The good thing, too. I love slop. I need it intermixed with my gourmet food. To say that you're too good for a Costco hot dog, that would be criminal in my mind. No one is too good for a Costco hot dog. Says a man who's never actually been to Costco, but understands the spiritual, feeling behind Costco. Oh, that Met didn't duck. I guess he had poor reaction speed. He was too busy thinking about my awesome diatribe about Costco. I gotta say, I find this more annoying of a rework of the Met tools. I mean, okay, if I was doing the platforming of this with the ice slide physics, that would actually be hell. But I'm kind of more annoyed about getting stuck in place rather than having to temporarily deal with ice physics. Those don't bother me too much. In the vanilla. Yeah, I don't know. They never bugged me. I was pretty neutral about them. I mean, it is a little bit annoying how easily they kind of dodge your attacks. Or not even dodge, they just protect themselves really quickly. But, I don't know, to me it's not like a fatal problem. Okay. I know I could just elect beam it out of the way, but... Actually, hold on, I should think about what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to switch weapons again anyways. Alright. Goodbye. Alright, could I stop doing that with the... There we go. Now Ice Wall is working as intended. Alright. Alright, I'm so far... Okay, so I liked those two tokens so far. I'm going to guess that maybe my opinion might change on the third one, but I like the idea of having spike-laden passageways to go and get, bonus tokens. So far, I would say so far, all the individual pieces of this level are working, nicely. But it is kind of notable how there's nothing that's really kind of combining together. It's mostly just individual set pieces. Like the slime goop kind of went away as quickly as it arrived. And I guess I understand that maybe underwater the slime goop shouldn't exist, but... Where are all the gimmicks? Oh, and there it is again. Though I think that fight was completely optional, so why bother? It involves the slug enemy slime. Okay. Alright, and that Yoku block section is a little self-defeating. No need for it. The aesthetics are still really nice, though, and everything still at least plays well on an individual basis, so I can't quite complain. It's not a bad level by any means. It's quite nice. Oh, and here we go, more Yoku Hell. I'm still surprised that so many people actually just want to use Yoku blocks. Like, it's kind of an infamous gimmick in the series for a good reason. Not everybody can do the, the level that nobody wanted. And make them that great. But, I don't know, here they are. They're just so applicable to every level, apparently. Alright, I don't need to fight you again. Eight out of 10 never reaches the highs it could have been. Yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know, solid all around, and that's about it. Alright, I really should not have missed that jump, but we'll move past that. It was a warm-up, as they say. Get this out. Alright, well, so far this doesn't seem crazy. Alright, I'm a little sick of those guys popping up, though. Ooh, a mosquito enemy. Creative and gross. I'm sickened. Was I maybe supposed to stay up there? Because this seems like the less challenging path. Yeah, I'll head back. Okay, the mosquito is very rudely shielded. Feel like that mosquito enemy could have been... Oh, okay, this was just entirely bonus, and I would have had a better result going downstairs. Damn. Okay. So I'm guessing that the gimmick, I should have actually gone the other direction, huh? All right, well. Oh, okay, interesting. The level never exactly taught me that, but interesting nonetheless. Or give no explanation as to why that just fell down. Okay, well, now we're back into Wily's puzzle room a little bit. Alright. What? Solid block? Why solid? What? Okay, alright. They're using invisible blocks now to make this work. That's, that doesn't quite make sense, but I guess it's meant to be, like, what's the path to trace? Alright. There could have been at least some indicator of that, like, I don't know, put a wavy, like, ooh, ethereal, there's, like, fake blocks and stuff here. That could have worked. Skill that acts like Grey Devil globs, thankfully they're underutilized. Yeah. Doesn't help that the, you know, Mets are only compounding that issue. Oh, I see. Okay. Respawn. Come on. Let's see. So what to talk about while we wait for a slug to go by? Let's see. We were kind of talking about Deadlock earlier, I remember. I actually saw my friends play a little bit of that game. And, I don't know. It seems fun enough. To me, it just kind of looks a little bit too busy for my tastes. Like, there's just way too much happening in that game to actually really digest what's going on for my mind. And then also it does seem kind of like a game where, you know, you get the right items for your character. My item counters yours. Too bad. And it's just kind of like, well, that's not very fun now, is it? I don't want to, you know, get stuck behind someone who's just like, well, you know, my abilities and skills completely destroy your character, so... But I guess that's how a lot of hero shooters tend to work. Oh well. I guess I messed this up. But let's see. Do that. Probably not going to be trying Deadlock anytime soon for my own personal benefit, but, you know. It might be something that one day when it's like in its full release, I'll give a shot. As a TF2 fanboy, I've been dying for Valve first-person content for a long time. Okay, hey bud, where are you going? Did I follow you? Alright, I'm guessing invisible wall? Invisible wall. Okay. It was weird rather than hard. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it definitely is an obtuse mechanic out of nowhere, and there would have been no reason for me to actually expect the slime goop would actually take me down here. I just kind of... I don't know, was playing around and thought, wouldn't it be funny if the snail actually led me somewhere? And turns out it did. It is I'll tell you this, it's a very bold choice to go for incomplete invisible block gimmick, though. That's not something that I would just pull out of the blue on people. I mean, it just, I mean, you know, for most of the contests, and for most, you know, the less good levels in the contest, it's just a glitch whenever, like, you know, there's random collision where there's no tile. But for this level, no, it's a feature, actually. Oh, I guess, yeah, I should have thought of that, huh? It was just saying that the spikes are solid, not that the spikes are blocks. For some reason, I thought the goop was actually, you know, becoming its own blocks there. Oopsie. I think it's something like this. Okay, and okay. Hey, where'd the slime guy go? That's not good. You gonna come back? Okay, you will come back. Yeah, this is maybe a bit of a long time to go back for taking a death, but I guess for 1 token, it's not. It's purely just for a token, so I can, you know, kind of see the justification that they're going for here. It's not horrible to waste all your time on. And it didn't take too long to recover from. This one was also just for a token, yeah, but there's also... I think excessive difficulty is much more of a bar to doing something than excessive, maybe tediousness, slowness. I mean, I don't know. As I have kind of mentioned in almost every single judge commentary of Ace Spark, I am a patient guy. I'm willing to wait around for a gimmick to, you know, do its thing. I'm not going to, you know, get up in arms about having to actually wait behind slugs and oops, I died. It's kind of punishing. Now I gotta go back and do things again. Yeah, this isn't too bad. I'm fine. I'm willing to do this. Something like Celestial Woman, I'm really not happy to be doing. Even if I can just, you know, slog through with E-tanks. It's just, it doesn't feel clean. It doesn't feel polished. I care more about something feeling polished and clean and well-designed rather than it necessarily being, you know, just feasible to do through, you know, whatever manner you decide to actually take upon yourself. Because while Celestial Woman is, like, certainly doable with this game, you can just eat a bunch of E-tanks and be done with it. You know, this at least feels more like a refined, thought-out challenge, even if it is kind of introduced in a very random way. And I'm fine with that. I like this. And tedious? I don't know. I guess you could say that just because of the 5 health bars, but difficulty is the thing that kind of comes to mind to me at that point. It kind of trumps the tedium of it. I mean, they work hand in hand to make the difficulty higher, but overall, for me, I'm just focusing on, wow, this is a ridiculous ask rather than this is a patient ask. Oh, good God. Hello, Goop Man. You fire kind of randomly. I'm not quite sure where your bullets are going. Ooh, Stink Cloud. Nice. Okay, this is... maybe half the clouds, I would say, is how you do visual obstruction well in a boss fight. This is certainly going better than Thermal Man for visual clarity, but it's still maybe a little bit too much to deal with at once. Okay. Okay. Also, the sludge just, it goes everywhere. It's everywhere. It's a little hard to not get caught in either the bubble or the sludge itself. I guess just staying back. He doesn't really shoot all the way across the screen. Alright, I don't know. Cool boss. I could probably get that down if I practiced, so... yeah, I don't know. I was happy with that. Level overall flowed pretty well. Had some very interesting, unique challenges, and the aesthetics were quite nice. Just that I wish that the gimmicks were actually mixed up a little bit more, and that the invisible block goop gimmick didn't just come out of nowhere at the end. I mean, granted, there's a pretty obvious hint that there's a ladder, and it's like, hey, there's maybe more to the stage to the left, but, you know, I wouldn't think many would decide that that's how... It wouldn't come to mind for many people. So that's a little bit of like a functionality flaw, IMHO. But, I don't know, otherwise I thought it was fun. I had no problem waiting around for that token, and it was fun to kind of blast through things, had good challenges throughout. Yeah, good job. Good job, SC Midna. What do the judges have to say about this? A weirdly quaint swamp. I mean, you know, Shrek could make the swamp nice. Blend of the new and familiar, all put together in a fun little bog. Oh no, we're gonna get bog standard as a joke, aren't we? For the most part, it's decently designed. Enjoy the pneumatols and mosquitoes, especially the mosquitoes. Not quite. Work well in tight spaces. Consider my utter disdain for the real-life creatures. It's so satisfying to slaughter them here by the thousands. Let's see. Lilies, paying attention. I don't know. They felt like they shot out maybe a little too fast for me, but maybe just a skill issue. Let's see. Enjoyed the sludge on the slugs that make it. Hop off the solid boss fight. Although Screaming Smog does not combine well with random speed bombs. Yeah, it definitely doesn't. Leaves me wanting a little bit more. Smaller issues. The frogs are a cool idea, but my blind run almost never saw the tongue slap attack. Similarly, the lily enemies proved too easy to destroy, so they didn't end up adding much outside of one lily who attacks you from spot. You can't just buster snipe him. Yoku blocks, when not combined with new metal, end up generally boring. Underwater. Across the board, they were dull. Yeah, they were just kind of easy to get through. There was nothing for them. The catfish enemy tends to die before it can do any real damage. The only thing I enjoyed was the catfish mini-boss. The earthquake gets a bit annoying. Yeah, just all the extra fragmentation is not fun to dodge. The other thing I need to talk about is the tokens. First one's fun enough for Yoku Challenge, besides the weird several second long trap. Second one was a nice little ice wall moment. The third one, just waiting for the slugs to slime the area, was boring. I guess overall it doesn't add too much. It just makes it so you have to wait to see platforming, simple platforming. But I don't know. I'm weird. I thought it was neat. I just think it's neat. Ends up being too much for one token. Drains a significant portion of fun. I don't know. I'm not going to be so critical of it. Given how much waiting you're already doing. Yeah, I mean, I guess it did take a while, but I don't know. I had fun just... I had fun with the mystery, the suspense of it all. Where's the pit gonna be? I don't know why. For some reason, that appeals to my brain. A couple hang-ups here and there. Solid level. Strong aspects of steaming. That sure is. Catfish mini-boss is cool. For the most part, the level design room layouts are good. Normally, I don't like contending with enemies while on small platforms, so I found the instances of them here to be pretty manageable and fun. Main issue with them is that they're a bit too easy. Especially holds true for the first underwater room featuring them. Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of Yoku blocks that were just very easily skippable. Slug enemies is a sound idea in theory, becomes a bit tedious. Having to do it all over again. I mean, I guess if I'm doing it constantly, but it's not like it's constantly, you know, it's not throwing nitro tanks at you constantly to just knock you into pits. It's just basic observation skills to not die there. And I failed at one of them, you know, so that's on me. Sludge Man himself, it's average. Yeah, the randomness of the sludge attacks are a little bit odd. I mean, I guess standing on the far wall is a bit of a safe spot, but still. Considering those two attacks make up the majority's moveset, feels like there could have been a bit more to it. Yeah, I guess. A bit of a overly simplistic boss, but... Let's see, don't get bitten, like the aesthetics. Good stuff. Stage is also fine, not too complicated, decently designed. An erratic pattern. They can deal some serious damage once they latch onto you. Yeah, it doesn't help that they're also very often shielded well. Take the first token path exit. It's not immediately obvious they're lily pads, and the player can just accidentally walk off. Take the normal path, however, the stage actually does show you that there is in fact water you can fall through around the lily pad, so a bit of oversight there. Yeah, but oh, there it is. There it is. Patchy said the line. She said bog standard. I still said box standard. Can easily be worked around by jumping and sliding. Just kind of there, not offering too much. Pretty tame. That's fine. It's like enemies that leave sludge on the trail are cute. They're slow. I mean, they are slugs. Spike trap is just mean, making you think you can stand on top of it, except it still kills you and brings all the way back. I don't know. I didn't find it mean. I thought I felt it more of like a, oh, yeah, duh, of course. Why was I not paying attention kind of moment. Like, the slime doesn't actually affect anything but your movement. It shows you that throughout the stage, and it shows you that, you know, for a long time with the invisible blocks. So, if you step on the spikes, you just didn't think it very far through. That's your fault. It's my fault. It's our fault. I guess it's mean to make you have to do the section over again, like, especially that deep into it, but I don't know. It didn't make me mad at the stage. It made me, you know, like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Let's see. Smoke bomb is a rather odd element. Doesn't poison you, but merely obstructs when Sludge Man would be jumping into you. I guess it is a little weird that he just suddenly throws vision obscuring into things. It doesn't actually mesh well with the rest of the stage. Next two levels of highlights for me. 45th is probably in my top 20. Gaslighting clip is going to be meaty content-wise. I mean, it's going to be an inside joke for forever at this point. You'll have the one good clip. I'm not sure how much more it'll be pointing out. More you can get from pointing it out more, but I'll still make it. Levels full of frustrating contradictions. Power-ups are everywhere except where they're needed most. The asset selection is enough creative potential to justify the large screen count. Yet a third of the level could easily be cut without losing anything. Yeah, it was a little bit long. Let's see. Sludge Man firing 5/3. It feels a bit spammy. Yeah. Gameplay and theming, great at the individual level, and then they kind of just, you think of the level as a whole, and it's like, well, wait a minute, these are just several individual things being slated onto each other. Crystal clear water is hardly appropriate for a level called Sludge Man. Yeah, I guess a little bit. Maybe it is a little bit weird that this is a very clean swamp, but, I mean, I don't know. It looks nice. At least I didn't have to be looking at poop water the entire time. Eco blocks don't really click. They're usually too safe and isolated. Combining them with water physics is a nice start. And anyways. Difficulty progression along the main route is gradual to a fault. The alternate paths start at maximum difficulty and don't know when to stop. Learning curve only works if you stay on the main path and avoid the temptation to bypass almost the entire level with Rush Jet. Have a good weapon gimmick puzzle, as long as it's clear that it's a puzzle. The areas with invisible blocks should have been my favorites, but they ruin the level. Can't suddenly make the water surface actually solid. Start with the tiles that have no previous associations. The underwater part of the puzzle is actually a better introduction. Make the slugs invincible so you can't destroy them. Don't usually dock functionality for perceived dysfunction. I initially couldn't complete the challenge because it seemed like the level was broken. Yeah, it did was like, why am I bumping my head? I don't get it. Rookie flaws undermine the professionalism. Oof, those are some cutting words. I don't think it deserves to go this low, but you do you, Flashman. The last tier at the secret level, keep your eyes open for a conveyor when exploring. Hudson Man, yuck. Hudson Man, and yuck. I'm getting Delfino Isle. I'm sensing a Super Mario Sunshine joke, but I'm not quite putting the pieces together. First impressions from the stage were great. The swell atmosphere. I love the new enemies here. Some are a bit buggy. Yeah, literally. Let's see. Rather serious issues. Slugs don't always behave properly. Hudson River because it's dirt. Oh, that's not even what I was thinking. Yeah, alright, that makes sense. In fact, most of the stage lives up to its first impressions with fair layouts, the odd worthwhile challenge, and the first 2 tokens felt satisfying to obtain. Bit of an issue with introducing new mechanics, especially if you go any of the alternative routes and skip set introductions. The sludge mets can be a little irritating. Topmost path of the stage felt pointless and pointlessly difficult, with no real reward for going that route, and the final token with the invisible platforms was simply obnoxious to get. Blah blah blah, A Spark is impatient, who knew? Introduced a little badly, yeah, definitely agree. So drawn out, slow, and full of instant death that I got kind of bored with the segment. The concept lost appeal. Speed of the slugs, yeah, it's a little bit weight intensive. Sludge Man was hard. I wouldn't quite say hard, but I would say a bit of a damage race. Sometimes you won't hit anywhere near you. Other times you'll quite literally cover the entire floor in sludge. lost to the one attack, and dampens your opinion on the boss. That's understandable. I felt like towards the end it wouldn't go all the way across the screen, but I would have to test that out when the arena eventually pops up. Good stage narrator let up by the odd bits of obnoxious design pervasive throughout. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good, probably some good reason for why it came down. There's a couple of things that were just a little bit lacking. What video game reference are you making? Look, I promise I'm not terminally online, alright? I just act like it. I saw yuck, 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 and I was like, oh, that's a pinata, or, pinata. What the hell are those things called again? Damn it. A pinta thing. And Hudson, I'm thinking, did Hudson Soft make that game? No, that was the Mario Party? Maybe they made Sunshine, too. And shut up. Beyond, yeah, there you go. Hudson made Mario Party. Yeah, I completely just brain wrong. Brain wrong, no thinky good. Dynamo Man needs to give me a recharge. Why is everyone hanging around here, painting the same color as the walls? That's not the green energy we were going for. Wah, wah. Dang, you know, if someone stretched out the game's development 2 years longer than it should have been, he's really impatient. Yeah, well, kind of contradictory, ain't it? Today I learned that if someone has gum stuck to their shoe, don't let them ride you. And if you do let them ride you and you get all gummy, don't jump into the ceiling to scrape it off. Surely the gum can't be that sticky. Or that supportive of weight. That caterpillar, I mean, that thing's made out of metal. It's gotta weigh at least, like, several hundred pounds. Silver favorite from Flashman, Undead Fortress, that entity girl. Alright, let's go. I recognize that name. Yeah, a lot of Aces Judge comments don't... They definitely don't age well in that context. Hi, Gutsman. Hi! Or should I... Maybe I should do a seductive Gutsman voice. How does that go? Hi. That's the best I can do. Very pretty, though. I like this aesthetics a lot. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of... It's reminding me of the Wily Wars. Oh, hey. I see where we are. We're at the, we're at Wily's first castle. Music and everything. And it's Undead Fortress. Ah, I get it. It makes sense. And these were nerfed, so that way it's not 3 brutal, stupid jumps over and over again. Alright. This is promising. I really enjoy Mega Man 1. It's, I mean, I wouldn't quite call it one of my favorites, but I would say it's one of the, in my opinion, one of the better NES titles for Mega Man, so this ought to be cool. It's like a ladder there, but maybe that's part of the secret that I can't get to it. Hey, pitch down like 3 semitones. I don't know if I can go that far. Maybe you should think of the power-up voice. Be like, hey, hi. I don't know. I can't do a Gutsman, unfortunately. Oh, bye, entire column of the fortress. This place is an OSHA hazard. I really don't think I should be here, honestly. Oh god, all the fleas! Damn, alright. I was hoping I wouldn't get got by one of those, but oh well. I was wondering where the crumbling was actually coming from. That's how you do a remake stage. Yeah, I mean, it's completely different than what actually the original stage was doing, and that's important for... Oh, no, Big Eye? That's weird. Like, that's important and a good thing. You don't, in a contest like this, you don't want to just literally remake the stage. You want to reimagine the stage. You want to say, okay, well, what could this be if it was, you know, a decaying, falling apart fortress? Like, this is a really neat idea, and, like, yeah, I really, you know, as a Mega Man 1 enjoyer myself, like, this is really cool. I always liked Wily's First Fortress for, you know, its simplicity and, just, I mean... maybe janky challenge in certain parts, but overall still a fun time to do. And so, like, the ability to go through it, you know, what happens to Wily's fortresses after, you know, Mega Man so heroically blows them up, like, this is a great opportunity to go and learn that. Am I gonna get things popping out of the pit still? No, just zombie bladers. The aesthetics on these are beautiful. I love them, too. Love zombie enemies. Almost in time for October. zombie robots just really have, I don't know, a very sick aesthetic to them. How do you imagine, you know, robots that are undead? It's not a concept that, you know, works in the real world, but given enough gore, you can imagine broken machines and just kind of, you know, give them those half-functioning characteristics. Oh, it's beautiful. It's such an overused trope, but it's beautiful. I'll never get sick of it. I think the only thing I would maybe be wishing for is just, you know, all the zombie enemies are functioning to exactly the same as their normal counterparts. Why aren't they, like, you know, why aren't the screw shots firing out fewer than 5 bullets at a time? Why aren't the big eyes, like, you know, hopping in, like, worse, like, less functional manners? Why aren't the Susies going in, like, I don't know, diagonal directions, randomly stopping, anything like that? Why, you know, how are the bladers flying so easily? A little bit more programming time, this could have really been explored in a cool new direction. But I'll take what we can get. More capsules, need those. Okay, almost got it. Let's see. Sonic Stage's overall aesthetics theming make it seem like it was what Tier 1's area was over a decade ago. Yeah, it's true. It is a lot like the buggy simulation. Well, actually, no, like the original Tier 1. Good point. Uh-oh. Falling platform time. No time to read. Okay. It'd be funny if I got to do everything I wanted for fun bags. There would have been 2 remakes of Mega Man 1 Wily Castle. Oh my god, you wanted to put a whole fucking castle in there too? Dude, come on. Oh, okay. Timing's getting nuts. Alright. Game of numerous strange coincidences. It certainly is. Okay, this level really knows how to put the time pinch on you, huh? Oh, come on, big guy. Get crushed? No. Damn it. That would have been funny. I wanted to see a big guy get compressed by a screen. MaGMML3 Tier 1 is literally the Wily Fortress from Mega Man 1, but even further run down. Yeah. yeah, basically. Now I get what you were saying. That's funny. That's very funny. That sense of that Flashband's gonna mention that joke where the door falls down instead of rising up. Ooh, are we gonna fight the Sludge Devil now? Very appropriate after the previous level. Ooh. Spooky. Okay, I like at the very least that Sludge Devil is actually doing something different than, you know, the original Yellow Devil. It adds to that whole zombified thing that I was talking about earlier. Okay, a little bit fast on that laser. I don't have too much time to react. Like, okay, I have the time to understand that something is coming. It's just very hard to actually understand, like, oh god, the laser beam itself is actually moving at the speed of a laser beam. It's fucked up. Yeah, no, this is a very cool version of Shadow Devil / just, you know, any devil. Like, it uses the morphing that a devil is known for without, like, just being, you know, a tedious stare down. Yeah, I feel like my actual movement speed's not very good for those lasers, but this is solid. This is very cool. I'm getting maybe a little bit bored of the predefined as soon as I speak, my annoyed preconceptions are answered. There's all of a sudden something extra going on, something new to the pattern. That's what we like to see. Oh, very new. Now he's not taking out the... Okay, man, that is tight to dodge. I just wish the laser was like 5% slower. Aw, don't do this to me. Damn it. The moment I looked at the health bar, I knew I was gonna choke. This first exiting, blah, 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 morphing in the previous game's boss attack. Okay. I haven't, like I said, I haven't actually gotten to X6 yet, so. Thinking of X5, or well, wait, no. Wasn't that X5? The Shadow Devil, not X6? Wait, no, it's because you're, yeah, never mind. I'm getting everything confused. I'm EP, okay? That's my excuse for every stream, I know, but... Yeah, I guess I could get it making sense, particularly as a Shadow Devil boss. That's how you want to interpret it, but... Oh. Good nonetheless. XA Sigma's laser attack, but you can actually dodge it here. Oh, well, I guess it's an improvement then. It is a very much an attack that you have to commit to dodging. You don't even have time to really get out a shot during that. But I suppose isn't bad, but I'm accustomed to an aggressive playstyle at this point. Oh, and he just keeps crawling at you at low health. Nice, so you actually have to get aggressive and finish him off. Sweet. X-Series baked in its boss, like the stage was made for you. Yeah, and plus, I mean, I don't know. X-Series elements done really well. I can approve of that. I think that was really awesome, honestly. Hey. Hey, Daggerman. And then, who else? Electman, a classic. Very fitting for Mega Man 1 stage. So yeah, no, I understand why you and Flashman love this stage. This is a very, very solid one. It, I love the reimagining idea of, you know, the abandoned fortress, how the Wily 1 stage is both familiar and different at the same time. It's kind of all broken down. The aesthetic is wonderful. The fight at the end is really good, and the health bar, I would say the extended health bar is justified, given that you can attack it so much more easily than the original Devil. It has a very fun pattern to actually have to learn and fight, not one that's overly obnoxious and a lot of waiting. The humor is on point as well, with the things falling apart at the right time. It's a good challenge of, you know, a simple gimmick of just the crumbling castle, and like you gotta avoid getting squished. The only thing I was really disappointed by was just the fact that the enemies were only resprites. The resprites were top notch, but that's all they were. They could have been, you know, having some different patterns or so to go along with the fact that they are, you know, so damaged and decayed and such. That's the only thing I really wanted from this level. Because otherwise, the sections that are, you know, very similar to Mega Man 1, basically just are Mega Man 1 at a certain point, right? I mean, like, you're still repeating the same spots where, you know, the spread bombs come up and, you know, you have to dodge and time that. The bladers are where you expect them to be. I mean, the fleas aren't exactly where you expect them to be because they're more numerous, which is good, but, you know, otherwise it still just kind of plays the exact same as you'd expect Mega Man 1 enemies to play, and, you know, while more programming takes time, it does leave you wanting just a little bit more. The worst dodge attacks on the X series, and it's actually great. Now I just need a good version of Nightmare Mother and Gate. Yeah, keep dreaming. Fortress Mega Man 1 is not a paragon of interesting design. Really? Just picking that of all things to remake? Talk about a risky decision. Let's see, significant improvement. The Crumbling Fort has a solid mix of old and new, rearranging and modifying familiar layouts to add new tricks. Handful of new damage in the level that shows how far the place has fallen. Let's see, nice enough gimmick, though I sometimes found the required reflexes a teensy bit much. Yeah, it got me once or twice, but it, you know, It was more artificial tension than real tension. A lot of the times it wasn't actually that close, but it felt like it. How it relies on its own destruction at the expense of all else. While the gimmick setup easily surpassed the original, particularly by getting actual use from the fire bars, the enemies... Wait, what? While the gimmick setup easily surpassed the original, particularly by getting actual use from the fire bars. There should be a comma there. The enemies, well, they certainly look cool, are overall unmemorable in execution. Big eyes and fleas aren't enough to keep the first part of the stage interesting. And while it tries to get better in the second half with bladers, Susies, and screw bombers, the most of them can easily be splashed from safety. It's a bit dull. A lot of what feels like empty padding in the earlier half, as well as just being a little long. The theme is undead, but even the undead still have a little more life in them. The last parts before the boss, thankfully, are more interesting. The difficulty curve is a bit weird. I found the super long falling ceiling was less of a threat than all the falling platforms before it, but it's a solid climax all the same. More predominantly, Zombie Devil outstrips the level's quality by a mile. Not only is he wonderfully unnerving, but he's also a devil fight that isn't tedium incarnate. Dodges can be a bit uncomfortably tight, but overall he ends the place on a high note. As far as the remake levels go, it's probably one of the best. There is a comment that... What? No, there isn't. While the gimmick setup easily surpasses the original, particularly by getting actual use from the fire bars, period. And I guess it doesn't flow in the next sentence. That entire thing is just not... that's not a grammatically correct sentence. You do not say, while the gimmick setup, ... particularly by... You want to remove the word while from that sentence. Just say, the gimmick setup easily surpassed the original, particularly by getting used fire bars. That's why it was messing me up. The while was expecting me for an independent clause afterwards, but it started with a particularly, and then it no longer made sense. Liking the premise of the stage, feel like it's missing a thing. And it's meant to be on the easel. I mean, yeah, but it still doesn't make sense when you start the sentence off with while. It doesn't work. Not grammatically correct. It's a pretty decent level as a whole, but I think it could be a lot better as well. How some of the collapsing floors and ceilings are used. They implemented really well in the early parts of the stage. Obvious placements, unlikely to catch you out. Did phase through one of the crumbling floors. Didn't find that in my playthrough. Let's see, getting blindsided. One hit can slow you down. Thankfully, the checkpoint is generous enough to provide for relief from frustration. It's alright. Nothing spectacular, doesn't do anything wrong either. Taking the whole zombie theme, which is used to good effect. As far as gameplay goes, however, I really wish it was used for more than just crumbling ceilings. Yes, agreed. We'll switch to a save for the boss. Laser attack can catch you off guard. Putting the civil stage just to fight him again. That's really cool. Number 1 in my book. Do art and video editing, not linguistics. I mean, neither do I, but I don't know. I was the kid who said, "Man, the curtains are fucking blue. I'm very bored of this English class." But if you bring around the grammar and make me diagram out a sentence again, I am so back, actually. Old memories come haunting back. Whoa, it's a legitimately creepy stage. Atmosphere is good. And does a very good job of giving off the creepy abandoned place vibe. Robots can become zombies? What would you call zombified robots? Zombots? I'm pretty sure that is specifically an enemy name in Mega Man 7. Portion of the grand scheme of things, still need to look in the actual design. It's not that pretty. What? Flame spots with the ceilings and floors would fall and no dripping debris is shown. Yeah, I guess it is missed a little bit. Other times it's actually quite dangerous. It's quite inconsistent. Can lead to some unfair circumstances. No way to prepare for. Yeah, the bomb did get a little bit much at some point, making it hard to get through without, taking a slight 1 damage hit from them. Points for its graphics, except the part where its physical hitbox is smaller than it depicts, which would have made the laser dodging more tolerable. Ah, alright. Definitely could be toned down on the precision needed to dodge it. The extra half bar of health seems rather unwarranted, given that it takes minimum damage from the buster. I mean, you can just kind of all-out attack it. I don't think it's that unwarranted. Do appreciate that he doesn't fight like a typical devil boss. Yeah. I'm the box standard. Schmidt, shut up! Oh, wow, 95. Yeah, I mean, second favorite. Oh, happy Flashman reaction. We have a new live Flashman reaction. Or at least we will by next week. I believe you're looking for the Make a Superb Mega Man level contest, which is down the hall. The shining example of level design done right, a model for any other levels that want to reference past games. The premise is simple. After decades of disrepair, Wily's first fortress is Forgotten Tomb. Mega Man 1 but undead. A careful balance of old and new graphics, architecture, and challenges, comfortable familiarity. Yeah, for the end is tremendous. Yep. Storytelling is brilliantly intertwined with the challenge progression, and the ceiling starts crumbling. It's both a memorable set piece and a seamless introduction to the obstacles ahead. Difficulty in each room ramps up steadily, reaches a satisfying culmination, and then disappears for a few screens to build anticipation for what's ahead. Everything is deliberate. Nothing is wasted. My qualms are few, but worth articulating. I experienced slowdown with the crumbling walls, fleeting flickering going into the boss. The boss's weak point is in a different place than the flashing damage explosion would suggest. And the health bar colors look too similar to me. One bar with adjusted damage values would have been preferable. Well, you are red-green colorblind Flashman, but anyways. Two-way horizontal transitions are questionable. Backtracking is dangerous in one spot. Briefly messes with the background graphics elsewhere, and it's unnecessary in a linear, puzzle-free level. 3 or 4 screens leave me wanting some teensy design changes, but that's it. The level is so clever, deliciously creepy, from the nostalgic beginning to the horrifying climax. Everything just works. It's a throwback that stands tall even if you haven't played Mega Man 1. Outstanding. Flashman is hippie. Yippee. Well, now, this is very cool. May have noticed we frequently complain about stage remakes. I dislike them quite heavily, but yeah, this one's different because it actually does new gimmicks. Duh. It's even a large segment of Fortress, single stage. You even complain to MaGMML3 too. Well, explain that. MX gay furry dog thing, huh? Severely angry straw person doesn't exist. Always the sign of a healthy individual. Imagining straw men, even for commentary. Or even for a joke. I'd be happy to, because it's not just a remake stage. The big issue with those stages is I could swap the entry with the original level and it would feel exactly the same. Yep. Even new layout, even feels, blah blah blah. What's the point of the new one? Remakes of these stages should offer something only the remake can offer, and then, yeah, you don't get the I played this before sensation. You get the, oh, this is familiar, but it's completely different. You get things crumbling on you, etc. Let's see, in those repeat screens, it plays with expectations and design. Can't just swap the stage with Wily Castle, and that's really the rub of it. Whole new experience, haven't played this before. Helps us a pretty fun stage, and the player and stage are in sync. It's a smooth glide through the creepy area. It needs to reskin to embrace the atmosphere. Notice that bit with the lights flickering? Maybe. Not quite. I don't know. I was too busy paying attention to other things. Some areas really do require trial and error. Checkpoint placement helps offset this. I wouldn't quite say trial and error, but, you know, I did get crushed once. Maybe could have used a better visual cue there. And the enemies, they're fine, alright, but stage remake, it's fine. Hit enemies, bubble bombs, hurt the flow of the stage. I mean, yeah, they are kind of a problematic enemy in the first place, but what are you gonna do? They're not that bad. Yeah, it does get a little bit annoying that sometimes the damage boost is, like, it's not maybe necessarily forced, but it is very encouraged. What could it be? Channeling's best X6 Sigma. The zombie devil was very, very cool. Creepy. Claustrophobia. Casual walk is actually... The shuffling is like, oh god, is it actually going to transform? I love that. The usual devil tedium here does not occur. Even with the health and defense. The I-beam is hard to parse. Yeah. Better sound cues would help the fight just that bit more. And one of the better devils. Don't take this damning with faint praise, because it's overall one of my favorite boss fights in the contest. We just use further tweaking to really push it up there. Agreed. Slowly approach the Mega Man. Then annihilate the Mega Man. Zombify the Mega Man. I'm a healthy individual that only argues with people who are real, still a lunatic. I mean, I argue with people who are virtually on a different part of the world. Arguably, you could argue that I'm arguing with myself right now. And you're a schizophrenic delusion. What separates you from just the demons in my head? I'm not quite sure. I guess we have proof. You made a real level, or is that just what the lack of meds wants me to think? The simulation just up the ladder resonates with me, then why weren't you placed up there? Simulation that displays the extremes of decay, suitable warning for all of us. This is what you leave in your wake. Shut up, servers. Geek man. Yeah, fucking, okay, Nurge over here talking about how we all die someday. I don't know, I've got infinite lives. I'm gonna live forever. Geek man, alright. Starting off with a bit of a clashing aesthetic. And a data queue? Or a vocal queue? Damn. If you want your precious data back, then you'll have to go through my hideout first, otherwise trying to let the door hit you on the way out. There is no door. And by the way, remind Dr. Light to choose a better password next time. Hee hee. Have I been hacked? Uh-oh. Okay, so we got Joes that shoot in multiple directions. That's certainly going to help with the Joe experience. Dream specs is normal, Crasher the lunatic here. Thank you! I want to be the lunatic, you know? Nobody wants to watch the sane guy do streams. You only want to watch the crazy person do a stream. Okay. So far, I'm just getting the impression of... I don't know. Nothing really special is standing out to me here. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a gimmick introduction. Is good. I was maybe hoping for something to happen a little bit earlier in the stage. Okay, I should stop playing around with Break Dash. But I guess that was a fair enough introduction to all the different enemies, so can't complain about that. Was that? Wait a minute. Hold on, there was a whole thing up there I didn't interact with. Let's go die. Watching Doug streams not because it's crazy, because chat absolutely is. I mean, that's like the same dynamic to where it's like why I would watch Germa. Like, I mean, Germa's a little crazy, but he is also mostly kind of a normal person. He doesn't have, you know, a bunch of internet brainworms, but his chat certainly does. And honestly, no, definitely the funniest part about Germa's chat is just the fact that, like, his chat is so large that eventually you're always just gonna get the one guy that says, yeah, he's gonna shove a baseball up his ass on stream. Like, you get the law of large numbers, and there's always one, like, just absolute raving lunatic in that man's chat. And that person always ends up shining the brightest because of just how fucking wild they are. And how Germa can't quite handle how insane that person is. Wholesomely crazy, but still crazy. Yeah, you know, it only shines through every once in a while. It goes long enough to where you kind of forget that he's... that he, you know, eats 8 Big Macs for dinner every once in a while. Oh, I'm on fucking Break Dash. Duh. Wondering, why is my charge shot not going off? Maybe it's because you switched weapons. Also not... Okay. Well, the aesthetics are pretty cool. I'm not exactly getting the geek man persona here. There's nothing that exactly feels geek-like about this. It's just kind of a lot of different enemy setups and spikes. Okay. Just have to actually induce crazy button mashing for that? Sure. Also, the background pattern is getting a little bit busy on the eyes. It's not so bad when things are standing still, but when the screen transitions, it's maybe a lot. Okay, we got a Super Mario Galaxy gimmick. Sweet. Okay, don't jump. I gotcha. That is an interesting point. I wonder if I can change it while sliding. No, it's not tied to the A button. It's actually tied to jumping. Cool. Good to know. Alright. Can't talk. Gotta make sure I don't fall to an untimely, stupid death. Good. More sense once you actually see the boss. Oh, I'm sure it will, but it's... So far, it is very currently like, alright, this is just a fortress stage, basically. Okay, cool combination of these two. I don't understand where that burst of speed came from. I would blame double tap dash if it was in this game, but it's not. I watch Vinny for the same reasons, do enjoy Vinny as well. That's why there's so many Vinny reads unhinged chat message. Yeah, I mean, I agree for a lot of this, for similar reasons, though it is kind of like, there's something about Vinny where it's like, it's not as, like, every time Vinny reads a cursed chat message, it sounds more like he's disappointed and can't believe that there's, like, that, oh, the internet would stoop this low. And, well, that is funny in its own right. I like Germa's reactions more of, like, he's so incredulous that what he's seeing is actual text that a human being wrote down. Like, you get the impression that he feels like he's fucking hallucinating. Oh god, okay, okay. A bit much. And I'm guessing... Okay, a little rude to get rid of my tornado blow here. I would have liked that. Am I completely just screwed out of a token, or do I just have to reset and go all the way back? Oh, I'm just completely screwed out of whatever this is. Alright, fine, try it again. I'm probably not going to actually give that a legitimate shot again. That gets to be quite a lot of jumping there at the end. Uh-oh. Alright, yeah. Bring out the rush jet. Any chat message sounds like disappointed father. German reads on his chat message. I'm gonna pretend to be a field mouse. This is very normal. Oh, damn it. Shouldn't have rode so high. Oh, and I have to keep it all the way to the end there? Oh, that's cringe. I mean, I guess it's good that I can't easily bypass it with Rush Jet, but... Man, that is a lot to have to juggle there to just take this alternate passage. I guess it's... Oh. It's good and difficult, I guess, but... Alright. Go play your game, geek man. Son of a bitch. Every time I do a bit to try to talk shit, always get hit. It never fails. I'm getting really sick of this comedic timing bullshit. Alright, the impatience is setting in. I'm starting to not give a shit about the gimmick anymore. I could feel it. It's interesting, but this is the kind of thing that gets very tedious to me. Devil fights, I can deal with. This, making me reset constantly for some stupid little bonus MacGuffin. Tight timing, having to manage jumping, shooting, gimmick, making sure not to do too much of either at one time. Fuck off. Come on. That bat is in just the fucking wrong position. I don't have time to charge up again. I guess I should just break out the elect beam. That'll make the most sense. Still, I like my challenges to at least feel feasible Buster only. That one just doesn't. I don't think I've also gotten between that combination of two enemies a single time so far. So, good on them for actually, you know, good choices. Oh, speaking of choices, damn it. You know what? Give this a shot. Wait, no, damn it! Oh, I was so close! I made it, but then I didn't. Source, I did it. Yeah, fair enough. Here we go. Only use quick weapon switch there, and then yeah, fell into the spikes even faster. Oh wait, but then I could have actually, yeah, I don't know. Brain no work again. At least I got a capsule for my troubles finally. No, why did I... Oh my god, this is getting... All of my wires are getting crossed at the moment. I cannot parse out the ability to shoot and get rid of an enemy that's in front of me at the same time as having to keep track of all of these blocks at once. This is the kind of thing that destroys me. I'm not good at these types of things. Alright, just break out the Thunder Beam, make it so I don't have to think about this very much anymore. There. There. Now, is that so bad? No, it shouldn't have taken me that long to do. Goodness. I still don't utilize quick switch button as much as I've seen other people play this game. Yeah, I've never been good at utilizing the quick switch mechanics. You'll definitely notice that I don't use the bumpers whatsoever, because I don't like switching left and right between my weapons. I never find the weapon that I actually want to use. Mega Man 11 perfected the quick switch mechanic, in my opinion. It's still not something I'm very accustomed to using, but I love the effect. For the fact that I can just actually switch between my weapons using the wheel in Mega Man 11, and especially so here. I just need to actually get used to it and develop muscle memory for it. You know, actually remember where the hell my weapons are. Okay, thanks. Perfectly timed to screw with me. Oh, yeah, no, I'm... Spark Chaser, do my job for me. I'm not going down there yet. Dude, I'm just used to being bumper mainly because of Doom. That's fair. Okay, those Sniper Joe shots are very hard, or, well, Joe or whatever, block shots are very hard to see. They do not work well against this purple background. Okay, there's a timing issue with those metal blades in these platforms. The level creator was not expecting you to take the second cycle. Right, fine, I reacted to that too slowly. I can accept that was my fault, but I'm a little bit sick of the gimmick now at from the previous section. Anything else to talk about to get my mind off the level? Let's see. Random other note. I don't remember if I talked about this on stream a couple days ago or a while ago, but I did hit a my weight loss goal recently. I've wanted to lose weight for a good while now, and ever since moving to my current location, which is basically being done with grad school, I've actually lost a total of 25 pounds now. I'm down to about 190 in weight, and feel quite comfortable with that mentally. It's a good feeling. I actually feel physically better for it, too. And tried first doing exercise to complement that, but that wasn't working, so instead I just cut down on my food intake a lot, and wow, wouldn't you know it, it worked. Okay, and then kept this guy alive. Oh, gotta go back. No! No! Fuck off. Damn it. Too slow to read the geometry of that situation. Yeah, I was, it was kind of surprising, just at first, to see how, I don't know, it seemed very easy to me to actually take off a lot of pounds at first, because I thought it was going to be a lot more, I don't know, I thought it would be a lot more difficult, but then it's just realizing like, oh wow, I actually eat a lot more than I think I do, huh? I really learned some stress eating tips from being in grad school for so long, and that resulted in, well, hell, not just grad school, but university. That resulted in a lot of pounds being put on, so essentially now I'm back to my pre-college weight finally. But all it took really was just eating less, realizing, hey, I don't need to have like all of these things for breakfast. I can have like, 2 things in total instead of 3 things in total. Hey, I can just have like smaller, just like a lot smaller dinners. I don't have to eat till I'm absolutely full every time. Uh-oh, fucked up. Or not, I guess this works. And even now, I'm kind of noticing that the lunch that used to be a perfect size for me is now like, this is actually too big. Instead of a sandwich, a yogurt, and some kind of chips thing, I'm now just going to do a sandwich and one of the two, either chips or yogurt. Give myself a little variety. And so I'm excited. I'm probably still going to have more weight to lose. It's nice. So wait, what the hell am I supposed to do here? I don't, this guy's not tall enough for this. Kind of just dog stuck now. I don't even have Ice Wall to help me out. I don't have Tornado Blow either. Ooh, what the hell? Oh, okay, sure, I guess that works. Don't know why it wasn't working before, but I'll take it. Soda really did for me, 201, about 184. Yeah, Soda also is, yeah, it is one of those surprising things. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I was a soda fiend, but it was more like kind of, 1 can a day was more comfortable for me a couple of years ago. But then once starting to just live on my own, oh, hey, he's Geek Man. I can read him. Impressive crash you made while right through my lair. Yeah, surprisingly, several lives lost. Winner now, Geek Man. It is over. There is nowhere you can run off to now. Also, you're way too weak to take me on? Seriously, Geek Man? Mega Man wouldn't say that. Come on. Dialogue writing. That's a little bit mean. You certainly name I've ever heard. You fell right into my trap. Activate VR Zone. Green Devil? Where am I? Welcome to my fantasy, the one in which I will defeat you. My original characters. Oh no. We're gonna be fighting original the character. Yeah. Yep, original the character. Do not steal. Okay, alright, he counterattacks. That makes more sense. A big Contra Hardcore Professor boss fight reference. It's lost on me, but I'll take it. I like reinterpretations of several bosses. Nice references. Airman, wait a minute, hold on. Can't do that. That is just a Mega Man enemy. Oddly palette swap Airman. Feel just like I'm playing a Mega Man 2 ROM hack from the good old days. 2001. Alright, simple enough. Yeah, no, I mean, I used to... The hell are you? I did do a lot of soda before, but then living on my own kind of turned into a, man, this shit kind of expensive and also heavy to carry without a car. I don't think I'm going to be purchasing this anytime soon, and so I significantly cut down on soda intake too, and unfortunately that was also right around the time that I kind of upped the food intake to cope with grad school, but, you know, eventually it all evened out, and now plus it's like I also don't have, like, I don't have the issue that many adults have where they end up substituting soda carbs with alcohol carbs because I don't really drink all that much. I like the occasional cider, and really that's about it. I can't stand beer too, which is such a godsend for the waistline because damn is beer a carb-heavy thing. It's just liquid bread. It's carbonated liquid bread, and sorry, but it sucks. How you compare against me? Ow. Oh, no iframes. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, maybe some iframes. Just very short ones. You gonna do anything differently? Okay. A White Claw fan, but only have it rarely. Actually, I don't think I actually ever tried White Claws. I just know that, you know, they are denigrated by many, but it's probably a little unfair. I wouldn't have anything against a seltzer, apropos of nothing. Okay. This phase is a little bit unnecessary. This is taking a long time for him to actually get in damaging range. Okay, now I didn't know which side he was gonna take. Kind of mean. Guess I'll just whip out the Thunder Beam at this point. Whoa! Hey! Don't just suddenly put spikes in my fucking battle. What the fuck? It's a bit of a mean thing. I remember Hazel when they went 2 ROM hacks, forget which one. Yeah, I believe that. That Airman fight did kind of oddly seem familiar between the actual color palette and the attack pattern. If I enjoyed her White Claws daiquiris, flavored sake. Yeah. I really the only other thing I enjoy is tequila, in the form of margaritas especially. I'm very much into literally fruity drinks. I don't know. I just feel like that's something that pairs well with the flavor of alcohol, because it's the flavor of alcohol itself that I just don't like. That's why I cannot stand beer. It's just, or really most wines too, because most wines are just really strong. It's just like, I don't know. You gotta give me something other than just burning in the back of my mouth and throat. Like, give me something else to work with, something along those herbal kind of fruit lines. That goes well with a little bit of bitterness. And it's not just sugar completely masking everything up. It's just, you know, a handful of sugar to complement things. Okay, well, now I'm getting beat up by these guys. And while these bosses are simplistic, this is effectively 5 health bars. This is a lot to go through. Red margarita without laughing to yourself. Why in particular? Why is it funny? The inspiration at almost 7 bosses. Okay, it is, I'll admit, it's ironic that I complain about having this many health bars to go through, I may have really enjoyed the 7 Force boss fight from MaGMML3, despite how chaotic it was and how long it lasted. I don't know. For something about that, the concept kept me enamored. Plus, also the fact that, you know, constant health refills wasn't too bad. It was a very satisfying challenge to take down. I suppose this isn't on the completely unsatisfying side, but I also haven't gotten to that final phase without completely biffing it before, too. One horror unfiction, my dad's tapes. Not at all familiar. I don't read. That won't influence me because I can't read. Actually, I should... Okay, why didn't you counterattack that time? How? And you don't have to wait for a counterattack too? You bitch. Okay. Elect Beam seems to be the way to go here. Video series, not a book. Well, never mind. Okay, something else versus you. Laser Trident. That works kind of good. Break Dash? Why do I get the feeling it's Break Dash? He gets close to me. It's not Break Dash? Okay. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. This will go by a little faster. Spark Chaser? Yeah, Spark Chaser. Get out of here, man. I don't need to be fighting you again. What is said video series like about, actually? If you don't mind a very, very brief synopsis. It's a guy at a bar is basically confirmed to have killed dozens of women. Just ask why you're doing this like a bell end. That'll stop a murderer, make them reconsider their life choices. Like, why are you doing this? Oh, I never really thought about it that way before. Maybe I should be stop killing people. That is maybe bad. Okay, it's not that. It's sort of that. Maybe Break Dash will do the job. Sort of. Okay, I mean, Buster is just as effective in this case. Okay, come on. I don't have all day. Okay, completely immune to Spark Chaser? Really? Still? I guess you're just immune to most things for the most of the fight. Whatever, we'll just recharge the Thunder Beam. I want to get out of here. I'm thoroughly done with this boss. And his stage. Cool aesthetic, decent concept. Not really my thing. Oh yeah, and then this is fucked up. Can we agree? There's a lot going on here. I get that there's an indicator for each one, but like, come on now. Making me hop backwards constantly while trying to avoid instant death, while also trying to avoid a horizontal projectile, while trying to avoid a vertical projectile. Rude as hell. Let me guess, he doesn't actually surrender. You realize you're a Robot Master, right? What'd you think I was going to do? Remember, for you Robot Masters, there would be no fighting. Okay, now you're starting to talk like Zero. If it weren't for you Mavericks, there wouldn't be any fighting. I will do no more harm. I'll just sit in my room watching movies all day. I'm going to ignore these empty promises, but honestly, you don't seem dangerous. All you did is steal some of Dr. Light's data by hacking his computer. But that's most crime nowadays. Before returning Dr. Light's data, I take it. Just remember that Dr. Wily is one of my clients. Admit the VR zone was pretty rad, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Goodbye. Oh, wait, I can still talk to you anymore. Oh, God, there is still more flavor text. All right, I guess I'll talk to you. Killer just sits on the bar still like a giddy 8-year-old sipping on his margarita. There's like a minute of silence where the killer unironically says with a straight, smug face, "Damn good margarita." He was meant to be taken extremely seriously up to that point. It's so jarring. Yeah, no, that's definitely funny. Good comedic setup. All right, well, okay, tell me about yourself, Geek Man. I guess I'll listen to your piece. World-renowned hacker. What I do, what I'm good at. Nerdy things. Not too surprising. Greatest creations. Activating it makes all nearby robots enter sort of VR, in which I get to decide what happens. Ooh. The only way anyone can escape the VR zone is by defeating me. So congrats. Why just steal the data? I guess it's important or something. I don't ask why. Unless they pay me. Favorite Mega Man game? All of them are great. I even get a kick out of the bad ones. I assume you played most of them already, right? Yeah, so in that case, I'll recommend that just does not get enough love. Mega Man 4 on the Game Boy. Kind of ignored because of Mega Man 5, but this is the first Game Boy Mega Man that is of a similar quality to its NES counterpart. Seriously, if you tried it, then you definitely should. Oh yeah, Mega Man World 4 is great. Like, it was probably the first thing I tried to seriously stream on this channel, actually. And the VOD is still up. It's not great, but it's there. I introduced myself and everything. So, yeah, Mega Man 4 has got a bit of a soft spot for me. I like that one a lot. Watch the Nightmine videos on it to build up to it is what makes it hit so hard. Alright. Comedic timing. I can appreciate that. But let's see. I was not a big fan of this stage. The color palette was kind of clashing. A little bit ugly. The bullets from the weird block enemies and the Sniper Joes blend in with the background way too well. The amount of instant death is high and quite frustrating. That one token is a clusterfuck on the brain to actually get, trying to navigate the alternating blocks and the footholder and the enemies. The boss itself is excessive, even if almost all the phases are simple. That last phase is... I don't like that last phase. Too complicated. Too much shit going on at once. Then let's see here. What other things was I not super into? I mean, I like the concept of the gimmicks and how they work together, but for me, it just, I don't know, it started to get overbearing. But I guess that's just a personal play style preference. I didn't like that, again, a lot of the tools and weapons were banned. I can understand disabling... I can understand why you might want to disable Ice Wall or Magnet Beam to not invalidate all the platforming challenges, but one, Ice Wall is not going to break this level anytime soon, okay? You put in enough of the jumpy blocks to kind of, you know, ensure that. Especially considering that the Ice Wall would also probably make those sections harder because you would be going faster than the footholder. So it would be a cool speedrun thing to pull off, so why are you taking that away from me? I can understand the Magnet Beam, it really doesn't validate it, but also, like, I don't know. You knew it was in this contest, like, kind of just work with it. Yeah, and then also the theming was like, why Geek Man? Why Napalm Man exactly outside of this fortress? Why is Geek Man in a fortress? Why is this not a, you know, tech lover's heaven or, you know, nerd paradise? Why can't I find his video game stash somewhere? Like, theming does not work here either. I don't know. It was not really my thing. Given the name and honestly, first impressions were underwhelming. No real issue with the level design. Things are smartly done. Well built, but there's no real theme to it. Bats, buzzsaws, Joes, boxes, and footwalkers are not exactly the most interesting assets. Script Fortress background, which also is a little hard on the eyes. Mario S switch blocks give us a more geeky element of halfway point. Massive variety of mutations that culminate in one long footwalker switch block segment. I did not need any more of those. Thank you, Mick. Don't recommend that. A lot more effective in Mario games for a reason. Mega Man just doesn't have the same level of aerial mobility. Single wrong button gets you killed, practically in the lengthy jumping room. More nerve-wracking than intended. Awkward to play. Improves immensely once the gimmicks combined with the footwalkers, which highlights how off-kilter that middle piece is. Really? No. I mean, sort of, but when they were alone, it really wasn't bad either. When they got combined, then they started getting devilish. Otherwise, plays fine from start to finish. Nondescript fortress setting. The boss fights, thankfully, are kind of interesting. I'm looking for Sparkman is a nice spin. Oh, right, I forgot Sparkman even existed. I wasn't even sure what his gimmick was. He was just acting like weird Sparkman to me. Oh yeah, and then also, like, damn, why write Mega Man's dialogue so rude? Mega Man would not be that mean, even to his adversary. Be like, all right, come on, the jig is up. Cough up the data. Not gonna start making fun of him for being a geek. It's very, very jarring story writing for Mega Man. I don't feel like Mega Man's that mean. You could maybe write something like that. It sounded more like Bass was talking. That's what it was. It sounded a lot more like Bass was, going to start calling this guy a mega nerd, and you're some stupid robot that Wily hired. You should only be hiring me, the best robot in the world. Everlong. 6 phases, 5 health bars, too much to deal with. The individual fights aren't bad. The only OC that wasn't as fun was the Toho. Felt like a Wily Capsule, had Wily Capsule problems. Man himself was a wonderful challenge of mastery. Dying to Geek Man shoves you all the way back to Brown Sonic. Way to end the level, which the rest of it was this geeky. Yeah, Mick gets basically almost all of my thoughts exactly. I agree with Mick on the rating of this one. Perfectly serviceable. It's pretty decent ideas and applications here. Platform rails, 2-eyed Sniper Joe is one of the most cursed things I've ever seen in this contest. Oh, that's what was going on with his eyes? It was kind of hard to tell. The graphics weren't super clear on that. They looked a little muddy. Also, the introduction segments after that are decently put together. There's some clear thought towards the difficulty curve. Yeah, that second token was a big difficulty spike. That fight. Appreciate the mini-bosses leading up to him aren't too overwhelming. The fight against Geek Man proper isn't that great, though. His first attack is too simplistic and easy. Stays invincible for the second phase a lot of the time. And the final phase amped things up a hell of a lot. Find the ideas present here, but difficulty curve would be, should be smoother. I see the fortified donuts. I don't get it, Pratchy. None of that X6 type thing, or what? Although the gimmicks are fairly basic and generic overall, the what? Stage makes use of them quite well. None of the gimmicks feel underutilized. They're pieced together throughout the stage nicely. Green bullet reskin is a bit unnecessary. It doesn't stand out. Yeah, it's hard to see. Sparkman fight, although creative without the jump switching mechanic influence the way he attacks. Oh, it does? Okay. That's quite awkward. It seems the player is encouraged to keep Sparkman in his blue state, but there's not enough urge for it. Only makes him shoot the big spark shots slightly away from where you are. Too much jumping required for maneuvering around the arena and dodging smaller spark shots as well. Boss fight is charming. Recolors of characters. Funny concept. I wouldn't quite say funny. It's been done. That's facing me a little too hectic with the implementation of the jump switch mechanic. Doesn't have control over due to the spikes and footholder hopping around. Yeah. Ultimately doesn't matter, as it only switches from the 2 very basic ways of Geek Man attacking. Oh, the red and blue. Oh, okay. That makes more sense in hindsight, that switching between the ice and the fire is jump controlled, but it was not immediately apparent because that kind of thing, that wasn't directly a part of the level itself, and I was only thinking about the actual aesthetics of the platform blocks. I was not thinking about the fact that jumping could be changing his attacks up. That makes more sense and makes that last section probably more manageable. That is conveyed very, very poorly. If there was at least one example of jumping, switching around attacks that wasn't Sparkman, because that's also not very obvious, then that would actually have, come across a lot better. But being the first time seeing that, I definitely didn't get that, and I don't quite like it the way it's done. Making a lovable character. Horror series that go completely off the rails just tickle my funny bone. It's funny and quite ironic enjoyment of the original Jeff the Killer. I don't know. Horror doesn't tend to really do much for me. It's just never been something that I want to, an itch I want to scratch. I mean, going, you know, jokes in horror in the horror setting tend to be great just because of the fact that, you know, it's such a great contradiction, but it's not something I really go for. So the fact that I want to play Sweet Home next October, or this October, is a little surprising. I want to play a game that inspired Resident Evil? Okay, sure, why not? I'm expecting a level equivalent of Weird Al Yankovic's White and Nerdy. What I got was bats and feety foot holders, non-specific fortress tiles, and odd-looking Joes. Yeah. It's a fresh twist on the familiar, but it doesn't relate to nerds, or geeks, or freaks, or the Greeks, as I'm sure the Eagles would say. Setting aside the premise, the level's quite decent. Challenges ramp up an acceptable pace. Top solids introduced poorly. Viciously tricky with a puzzle element that you'll love. Checkpoint placement is in line with the challenge arcs. Yep. Once dying over and over that second token, it's really apparent. Each portion of the level can be bypassed with rushed jet. I'm unsure why any weapon other than Magnet Beam needed to be locked. Moreover, Joe's shields only block the Buster. A couple screen transitions can be deadly if you're messing around. The boss fight doesn't fully account for special weapons, including a potential soft lock. Boss is fine but disappointing. Attack patterns are repetitive, and those OCs could have been a comedy goldmine if given names and backstories. That would have bloated things a little bit much. Come on now. Geekman looks a little strange. His dialogue doesn't hook me. The level's strongest one strays from its premise, but doing so makes the whole thing weaker. I say ditch the story and embrace the platforming goodness that works so well on its own. It's far off the rails, it drops being a horror, mostly reads like an action schlock with unintended comedic bits. I'll admit, for being on the internet so long, never bothered to engage with Jeff the Killer. I know that it exists. That's literally it. I know the name and I know the jump scare face. That is literally all I know about it. Maybe there's something to look into there, but save that for another day where all of a sudden I feel the need for internet nostalgia. Big takeaway here is that the main gimmicks are very well explored. Yeah, maybe once I get into a just chatting streams, maybe once I get into that territory, we could probably start doing that. As challenging stages rarely has difficulty spikes, it builds on the elements it teaches it all well. Jump/swapping block taken directly from one of the Mario games. Works well combined with Mega Man. Walking foot holders are interesting and tricky. Most tokens are reasonable. Final star token is just irritating though. It's just awkward, yeah, but I mean I still didn't like the second token, but alright, Ace Park. Checkpoints, yeah. Would have been better if they were placed just a little bit more nicely, a little bit more closely to the part where you're gonna be dying and resetting a lot. The stage looks and feels a bit generic, but not to the same extent as some stages. Considering the graphics are directly from one of the stages, it still looks nice. No, green on purple does not look good. What are you talking about? But what's there does help. One noteworthy detail is these are shadows to indicate pits. Yeah, that was consistent at the very least. I like that. Geekman is a bit of a mixed bag himself. Fine fight, a bit long. The third original character, Donut Steel, and plain forms are rather tedious to fight. The large cyberpixel forms really needed more polish, at least separating and shading the large pixels. It looks so underwhelmingly jank right now, given the reference to a rather spectacular boss in Contra Hardcore. Oh well, overall enjoy the stage, think it's a good one. I'll pass. I don't really need to enjoy Geekman again, but that's just my personal opinion. Never trained how to jump, send help! Funny eyes. Let's see. Jeff, what's that expression? Randy, I'm about to make you Jeff the Killed. Opens his pistol as a nearby opens fire his pistol as a nearby gas canister, engulfing them both in flames. Brilliance. Loudman. Aha! Hey, you're not green. What are you doing here? Somewhere underground by Gone Sovereign. Alright. 39. Got time for a couple more levels so far. That is some beautifully corny and campy dialogue. All of a sudden, you're gonna be Jeff the Killed. The Killster? You are listening to Silverstein's Burning Hearts, covered by Cosmic Gem. Special thanks to the following people who made this possible: NEOH, Art, Mini Macro, Glennian Heroes, Jack, Parmesan, Snorant Pyro, Sea Sketch, Saildak, Phase on Motherbrain. E-Tank is on me. Well, I'm glad I'm not paying for it. Dive Man charges just too much for his E-Tanks. Or I guess he sells mayonnaise tanks. Been analyzing the data picked up by your scanners as you made your way over here. By teleporting? The disturbance being created in this area is most definitely mechanical. There's some robots swarming up this place and picking up a significant energy element emanating from inside this mine. And most strikingly, your scanners indicated a few robot master signatures within close range. Must be the work of Dr. Wily. He must be strapped for resources after his attack on New Harbor, so it makes sense that he would attack here. Get to the source of that power reading. Come across Wily or his robots, you know what to do. I'll probably lose contact with you once you enter the mine, so Roll and I send our best. Good luck, Crash. Okay, thank you for the plot dump. Dr. Light. Off on this, you can tell it's gone sovereign though, because Silverstein's cover is playing us a little music. I'm not, oh, what the hell just happened there? That was, oh, that showed up in the recording. That was a load-bearing buster shot, apparently. Everything just shat itself for half a second. That was weird. But, I think I'm familiar with Gone Sovereign's name, but none of their content. Still, it sounds pretty good. I don't know what Silverstein is neither, but... Alright, well, so far, mine is feeling, you know, I guess we're off to a solid start, introducing all of our enemies. Got, you know, a consistent rock dropping gimmick. All of the enemies have to do with generating rocks, except for this guy. Don't worry about him. Let's see, I'm interested to see how this develops, but nothing so far is, you know, striking me immediately. The graphics are serviceable, they are good, they don't hurt my eyes. Shadows are done nicely. But the enemies are kind of just cannon fodder at this point. I'm not really thinking about any of them as I'm absolutely blasting them to pieces. Okay, and just randomly use Magnet Beam to get up here. Not really much of a challenge for that token. Bit of a strange decision. So much your stream is trying to become one. Yeah, soon Crash.exe is going to be popping out of the screen, and unfortunately, it's not going to be the Battle Network incarnation. Gonna be hyper-realistic blood coming out of my my central piece there, as well as, you know, my glasses. They're gonna be falling apart. Oh, hard man with no iframes? Say no more. I'm not gonna fight this guy elegantly. Just destroy him. The Crash Rooms. Don't talk to Crash.exe at 3 a.m. Terrible worst decision of my life. God, I wanted to switch weapons. Okay. What? Ah, come on. Alright, this will probably be easier doing it the rush coil way. And if my body makes it out unscathed and safe from broken vows, a promise spoken leaves me holding on. I just can't get a hold of. Why we always hurt the ones we love. Can burning hearts still keep us strong? That sounds like a song reference I don't know. Things that go completely over my head. Silverstein lyrics. Alright, well. Oh, that's a pretty background, at the very least. I'll say that. That's probably the first thing that's graphically stuck out to me about this level. Okay. Met almost actually tagged me there. Would have been tragedy. So far, I'm a little bit disappointed that the rocks haven't become more significant in the level. Like, yeah, there's a lot of them to platform around, but so far they're just rocks dropping from the ceiling with the occasional bit of added platforming. I'm a little bit bored. For me, it would have been a comedy. Yeah. Sure, we could turn Crash.exe into a comedy series one day. Just get a creative type to write a creepypasta for me and, you know, publish it, do some voiceover. I certainly don't have those creative juices in my body. Anything could happen. I could maybe write scripted, you know, some scripted comedy ideas. I have ideas for some things to rant about in the future, but nothing that I solidly want to get to quite yet. I need to finish this game first. Because I can already tell from the numbers just a little bit. MaGMML3 is maybe running its course on the popularity side. That until we get, you know, a new major update, in which case then things will suddenly turn back alive. But for now, still having fun. Gotta finish things up though. I mean, I do honestly want to just move on to doing some extra things too. Like, there's a couple of like, let's see, not only do I want to get to X6, but like then there's other, you know, Mega Man fan game title stuff I'd like to try out. Like, I wanted to try out Mega Man RPG Prototype a while ago. I'm not super big into RPGs, but it seems like, you know, something I've caught wind of that I would want to actually give a shot. Alright, why a jet ski in the dry mine? Doesn't exactly work. You didn't give it wheels either. Then there's also, like, let's see. I've wanted to play Mobile Suit Baba for a long time. A fun kind of spiritual successor to Baba Is You. Well, I mean, not literal successor to Baba Is You with Mobile Suit Gundam mechanics. Alright, you got me there. What other things? Just playing some classic stuff, too. I've kind of wanted to break out, like, Wario Land 4 for a long time. Because that game was my childhood. I loved Wario Land 4 for so long when I had a Game Boy Advance and Game Boy SP. It's one of the best aesthetic charms of any game I could think of. Nothing matches the sheer swagger of Wario in Wario Land 4. He was in his prime back then. I fell for the same thing twice. Damn it. Okay. I have the WarioWare games and Wario World. The expression, I'm about to make your systems crash.exe. He deletes the System 32. Where were you when your Systems 32 was deleted? I was there in my home at 3 a.m. My lights had gone out, but that's just because I hadn't paid my utility bill recently. And you said, your System 32 is kill, and I was like, no. Okay, don't fall for this. Okay, I had no choice. I couldn't slow down enough. Maybe I was supposed to just jump the whole pit? Huh. Yeah. I haven't really played much of the WarioWare games myself. Just not really my thing, necessarily. And, you know, when I had a Wii, it wasn't really relevant to me. Wario World is fun, sort of. Like, it was ludicrously difficult as a child, but I've seen people play it now, and it doesn't seem too hard as an adult. It also just seems to have very kind of, I don't know, it gets repetitive, which is strange considering that a lot of the Wario Land games don't get repetitive with the same movesets that you have over and over, but Wario World places a very odd emphasis on long, drawn-out attacks to take out large groups of enemies, which looks cool and is very stylish for the first, like, few times you do it, and then gets very repetitive soon after. There's just not enough different kind of, you know, moves and attacks that you're doing to justify that many levels within the game. Oh, but hello, literally best Game Boy boss music? I'll take that. I mean, okay. I would say this is on par for Sunstar's theme. So am I able to do anything here, or what's up? Okay. Oh, good God. That is. I have to actually go full button mash for that, huh? Not too much, because then Wily's invincibleness actually bounces my shots off screen. What happens to that last missile, too? It doesn't actually come down on me. It's odd. Oh, come on. Now you're firing more things all of a sudden? Alright, well, this fight got crowded quite quickly, especially because I think Wily's getting closer to me now. And 9 Wily Machine 1. Yeah. The Wily Machine 1 in that game was the reason why I couldn't beat Mega Man 9 for a very long time. I was just not able to pull it off for many years on the Wii Remote. Here's your blue screen. Yeah. I would argue this is... I think this is probably the most underrated boss track in the entirety of the Mega Man series. Like, yeah, it gets some recognition, but like, just because of the fact that it's on the Game Boy games and is not Sunstar, it's like a very forgotten hit track of the Mega Man series. It's just got such good energy. The ominous lead-up really builds without, you know, getting too serious for things. Like, it's perfect. Also, plus, like, the melody just going... Like, wonderful. Got a solo in there, too. Like, they packed a lot of charm in this theme. Alright, come on, stay back there. There we go. One more. Oh, we're gonna fight Dr. Wily in the chair? Come on, please. Aw, no, I wanted to fight Wily in his chair. Gonna sound with the full power of the NES chip add-ons, though. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a certain charm to it just being what it is on its own, but then there are, you know, the fact that Sunstar's remix can be so good is proof that, like, people using different chipsets can really elevate it. So, I mean, I like that more than the previous stage, but outside of the fact that this does feel like it got into the trappings of generic mine, the generic mine mindset, and, you know, the rock dropping gimmick didn't really go places. It was just kind of like, well, here's the dust dropper from Sparkman stage, but smaller. And then random wave bike segment that doesn't make sense, at least logically in the Mega Man world doesn't make sense. This is a bike for water. Why am I suddenly skating on rocks? There's no wheels on this thing. That doesn't make much sense. And I like the final fight in concept. It does get a little bit too cramped there at the end and just requires a lot of jamming on the fire button to actually get that bomb to stick back there. And a lot of the enemies were just cannon fodder. They really posed no threat at all, mostly coming on one at a time. Like, it got kind of boring, and for that, I feel like it would belong maybe better in one of the previous tiers. I don't know. not really, again, not really interesting me at this point. Next is a puzzle level. Fair running, but isn't a behemoth. I'm approaching 2 hours, so I think I'm probably just going to end actually after reading through the judge commentary. We'll save it for next time, though. We'll save it when I'm fresh and not on the last dregs of streamer energy. Typical cave levels goes, might be one of the strongest. What? Can't say it's super unique. Aesthetic is pretty much standard old cave. Its core gimmicks are things I've seen before. Versatility to its core gimmick. It's just rock blocks. They're not used in a lot of ways. They fucking fall on you. They go on a conveyor belt, and then you can blow them apart. Like, I mean, I guess that's a multiple use cases, but like that's just like the same. We've seen that. That's combining 3 gimmicks that we've seen in the Mega Man series before. Like, not anything crazy. Rocks of regular obstacles, rock dispensers, spells to carry them, rocks on spikes, throw them all together. Consistent growth without going overboard. The jet ski was appreciated. He's the most distinctive part of the level. Yeah, I guess it was, but bleh. Speaking of the rock thrones, the enemies were a threat. Kukapele moved on an excellent obstacle, unlike rock thrones encountered in the spike section. Alright, combined with Don Catch. Something about debris everywhere while you fight a wobbly minecart. Makes things so much fun. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Alright. Sadly, both Tonadol and John Big fell off. John Big was an alright enemy. First encounter's trickier. It's noteworthy Tonadol's when I managed to kill by accident just because of the wait, what did I kill moment? Those designs are strong? Surprised how effective Hardman and Stoneman are as mini-bosses, although the boss left a bit to be desired. Tried to hit him in the use of aimed missiles. The Wily drill machine felt a lot like Brain Crusher 2.0. Well, that was probably the point. Third Alabel felt significantly more annoying to land compared to the ones after it, even on repeats. Physically exhausting day because you've been feeling sick. Oh no, sorry about that. I'm glad I can at least pick you up a little bit. I enjoy talking to you and having some, someone to find me entertaining here. So it's as much of a symbiotic relationship. It goes both ways. So email, try work on the clip tomorrow, provided you're able to. Yeah, I mean, for now, no rush on things. This is, you're basically doing this as an act of charity. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. I also did actually put up I did upload a file for my font that I actually use for the subtitles in my videos. It's not necessarily something you have to do, but if you want to, stick with a similar aesthetic, you can use it. Fair warning about the font. I mean, yeah, you still will. Don't worry about that. Fair warning about the font, though. It is large for a font file, given that it's so angular. It'll still... I mean, it's only 3 megabytes, which isn't a lot, but most font files are only in the kilobyte range, and so as a result, it tends to slow down programs when it's used. So it's just fair warning about that. It might be a little bit cumbersome to work with. Perfectly average level. Yep. Not really anything noteworthy going on with it. If anything, its biggest crime is just being bland. Platforming room and enemy layouts are adequate, nothing amazing, while the gimmick uses power on well. Stages like this throughout most of the stage. First being one of the conveyor belt falling rock segments midway through the stage, mostly because it's one of the only parts that's a completely different background. Yeah, that was nice. And then the wave bike section and the boss. Yep, it does mix things up. It's memorable in a good way. Just play somewhat like the Wily machine from Mega Man 5 from the Game Boy, at least in the way you damage it. Similar to the stage itself, this isn't necessarily a bad fight, but I did find it rather easy. While it's definitely trickier to avoid the missiles and sparks once the machine gets closer, the time bomb explosions also become easier to land as a result. That's how I felt. Yeah. It's kind of nice that the lagging behind means the time bombs are a bit easier to work with. If you're working with it too much for an issue, you can just send a textless version. If you want to add text yourself, that's worst case. Okay, sounds good. Somewhere, a ground, and under variant. Maybe even a tail happening. An alt-right stage, rather generic theming. Feels like it's missing one thing to make it complete. Yeah, it definitely could have used another gimmick. You shoot the rocks, but not too much to make your way over the spikes. It gets rather hectic, especially the part of the conveyors. Interesting to have the past robot masters as mini bosses, but they can be shredded with buster spam, so that's good. Makes it so they're not just full bosses you're fighting in the middle of the stage. Remember an Android, keep getting tricked into falling to the rock. Yeah, you too, Patchy? First time? Hitting a Wily Machine battle in one where you ride a wave bike through the whole battle, though it could be hard to time and dodge the lightning balls and missiles at the same time. Yeah, I could have used a telegraph on the lightning balls, especially if the missiles are being telegraphed too. Drill Man, Flame Man with Guts Man asteroids, and even Joes. Let's see. Familiar is fine as long as it's sufficiently old, blends old and new. Aesthetic identity is a great start. Strong aesthetic? I mean, I don't know. It's rocks. It's just a mine. I don't know. I guess it is, its own unique tiling, but still. Although the lyrics of the song it's covering are of dubious pertinence, the main music sets a distinctive tone, segues nicely into the boss theme. The design sets the level apart further. It's fair, focused, considerate, and free of so many issues I'm tired of complaining about in this contest. 1 or 2 barely noteworthy glitches. Disappointing easy first token, balanced by a satisfying, challenging final token. Too much animation motion makes the gorgeous waterfall cavern a bit disorienting. I wouldn't say so. It's the only thing that snapped me out of my stupor. Capcom quality boss fight. The cute escape scene that follows. Realistically, there's only one thing restraining the uniqueness of the experience. It's the slow progression to what's new and exciting of the level. Let's see, we're doing all these cool things. There are 2 screens where you keep your distance and tackle one obstacle at a time, as Dr. Light's long-winded dialogue. Weighed down by content. Sign me up. Okay. Hardwood review does a lot of things technically correct. Those deserve praise. It's a nice rising challenge. I think it's a very good level. Good checkpoint placement softens the frustration factor. The 2 rooms inspired by Mercury Stage and 5 Game Boy are just really, really well designed. 5 tokens. I mean, for the first one was just use Magnet Beam. Like, it's not poetry. One of the better wave bike segments. Yeah, it's true. It comes out of nowhere, but it's good. Tile set. It's fine. Wily Joe's cool concept. It's claustrophobic. Timing is awkward. After you get in the stage, more start seeing familiar setups. There are often filler rooms with just enemies, and the combinations start getting stale. Yeah, and most of the enemies are just simple cannon fodder. Take them out with a charge shot from a distance. Which design decision you made, they serve as the very definition of filler. Neither Hardman or Stoneman do much other than pad out the stage. Yeah, true. They're not really great mini bosses. They're just kind of there. I mean, I can blast through them, so it's at least better than just having to fight them with full invincibility frames, but still. Dislike the music? Oh, come on now, Spark. I think it really needs some trimming. It was too long for its own good and just one segment too many. Yeah, it could have just used a little... It just needed more with the rock blocks. The rock blocks were just... there. I didn't really get much out of it. Oh well. Yep, have a good night, everybody. Time to end stream, so... I'll talk to everyone later. Thanks for enjoying. Spread the word about me if you'd like to. And we'll be back next week for MaGMML3. Alright, see ya.